Good evening, and welcome to this meeting of the Old Kings Highway Committee of the Town of Yarmouth, which is being held in accordance with Chapter 470 of the Acts of 1973 as amended at 7:15 p.m. on Thursday, October 17th, 2024, at the Yarmouth Town Hall Hearing Room located at 1146 Route 28, South Yarmouth. Moreover, pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, considering certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting is being run in hybrid mode, by which I mean live participation. There will be some Zoom participation, conceivably some telephone participation as well, although as I always say, I have yet to see that. 9 new applications for certificate of appropriateness and 1 tabled certificate of appropriateness will be heard this evening in the order listed on the agenda. Please be reminded that our committee's main purpose is to review items for appropriateness and setting, and it is the responsibility of the applicant to comply with the regulations of other town boards and departments, including building, conservation, engineering, health, zoning, and the sign inspector. You should know that there is a 10 calendar day appeal period starting once a decision is filed with the town clerk. Any person aggrieved by our decision tonight can appeal to the Regional Commission of the Old Kings Highway Historic District. Our office administrator, Lisa Sherman, will be happy to answer any questions you may have regarding this process. And with reference to process, our process here is I will call each application in order as listed on the agenda. The applicant and or the applicant's representative or representatives will kindly come before us, sit at the table, speak into the microphones, identify yourself or yourselves, state your application without interruption either from members of this committee or members of the public, after which I will ask the committee for comments and or questions regarding the application. After that, members of the public, especially abutters, are free to speak on the subject, ask questions, make comments, and for that purpose, if you would kindly go speak to the microphone at the podium to my front left. And so now we will begin with the first application, which is 24-A122. It's to build a shed in the rear of 86 Old Hyannis Road. Judith Pendergast is the owner. And who do we have this evening?
I didn't submit that it was Pine Harbor. I'm going to turn it over to
If you just come and speak to the microphone, please. Okay, so tell us who you are.
I'm Judy Pendergast.
Okay.
Jamie McGrath from Pine Harbor Wood Products.
Okay.
Here, kind of short notice, but representing the Pendergast just to make sure that everything.
So you were saying, Judith, before we couldn't hear you?
Saying I'm going to turn it over to.
Perfectly fine. Tell us.
Good evening. Jamie from Pine Harbor, as I stated. We're here to propose building a 10 by 15 actually shed, 150 square foot shed in the back right-hand corner of the mentioned property on Old Hyannis Road. Don't know the house number. 86. It's a dead-end kind of road out there behind the industrial park on one side and the dirt road on the other side, so it really doesn't, I don't think, some beautiful homes back there, but you wouldn't say that it's Route 6A or anything. So 10-pitch roof, it's one of our kind of standard sheds, a door and a couple of windows on the front side, a double door on the right gable end, clapboard siding on the front to match, roofing to match, PVC white AZEK trim is standard for us, and happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Questions or comments from the committee?
Is this it, or is this representative?
Representative, it's flip-flopped.
Is it closed like this?
Yeah, flip-flop the doors on the right gable instead of the left gable, but yes.
I have no problem.
They should.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Live in that.
We may be down the road. ADUs.
Use.
Any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? I will simply comment that this property, a very nice property in a very nice up-and-coming neighborhood, set quite far back from the road, and the shed is even far back from the road. So nice as it is, it's almost irrelevant that it's nice because you're not going to see it anyway. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I Move to approve 24-A122.
Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor kindly signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So if you will come forward and sign this document, which simply says if you change your mind in any regard, you'll let us know. Right on this line here. So, by the way, we have 6 members here tonight, so we'll alternate the voting between the,
We have 5
Paul and
full-time members.
John.
We have five-
one,
John's
two,
full.
John's full, so,
I'm appointed.
oh, right, okay. Sorry, you're absolutely right.
I'm asleep.
Okay. So we have 5 regular voters, so you will be very kind to watch and observe and. Yes, you can do that. You're all set. Thank you.
Did she sign the paper?
She did.
Okay, great. But I don't-
You're all done?
You good?
You're absolutely free to go.
What color do you like the inside?
I like chintz curtains. All right, honey, thanks.
You will.
I'll email it to you tomorrow. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, where the alternate does not sign.
What's that?
Alternate does not sign. Okay.
Sorry for that, John.
What's that?
Oh, jeez.
Remembering you as an alternate, and
It's
been a while since you've been an alternate.
About 8 years.
Good night.
Night.
Well, if you fall asleep, nobody will
Had a
know.
more recent stint, didn't you?
Pull the flask out.
Here we go.
The opportunities are infinite.
The next item on the agenda is 24-A123. It's to install 22 solar panels on the side roof of 6 Ellis Circle. Richard Kaiser is the owner, and Freedom Forever, MALLC, is the agent. And who do we have tonight?
Maybe have nobody.
Usually they're online.
Yeah.
Look like there's anybody.
Oh, here
Oh,
we go.
we have someone. We have Katie.
Hi.
All right.
Hi. This is Katie with Freedom Forever Solar.
Aye.
So, Katie, if you'd be kind enough to present the application to us?
So we are looking to install 22 panels on the side roof of the property. If you're looking at the roof from Ellis Street, it's like where the garage is. But if you go to the front of the house, which is on the other street, is kind of on the corner where the door is, the solar panels would be on the back of the roof. They are 22 panels. They are black on black. None are facing the street, and the garage kind of blocks the view of the panels from Ellis Street. And then the total array size is 461 square feet. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Okay, so do we have questions or comments?
I always like to ask who will own the solar system. Is this a lease to it?
It will be the homeowner paid out through the contract.
The homeowner owns it, or is the homeowner, are
They,
you
they
leasing?
will own, sorry, they will own the solar panels.
So once you install it, you have no more to do with the installation?
No.
Oh, good.
Is it-
Yeah, no,
is
they
it-
pay it out. Like, we have a contract, but they pay it out. We don't really own the solar panels after that unless they need assistance of stuff like that.
You offer a warranty, though,
Yeah. There is a standard warranty.
Katie?
Katie, explain your warranty.
Yeah, could you describe the warranty to us, please?
I actually I'm not quite sure on the warranty for that, for the panels.
25
I haven't
years
really had
is
to explain
pretty-
that before, but I can get that documentation for you and send it over.
Standard is 25 years and 5 years,
Yeah.
Construction.
Normally, right.
yeah. It might
That
be in our
include the
paperwork,
inverter
actually.
Usually?
No.
No. An expensive piece of equipment, too. All right.
Yeah, the contract usually isn't required for these meetings, but I can look through it and provide it for you.
Okay, well, it's not really germane to our decision-making anyway, but good to know. So, any other comments or questions from the committee?
I guess my comment is that I don't think the solar panels will be visible from any public way.
There's a lot of foliage there. And
Anyone else from the committee?
Nope.
Any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I'll move to approve.
Second. Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor kindly signify by saying aye.
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 And aye.
And it is in our paperwork, 25 years module warranty
Okay.
for the record.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
You're in the picture now. You're in the picture now.
Oh, dear. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is 24-A124. It's to replace the siding and front steps and replace the rear bulkhead with new entry at 36 Center Street. Gene Gallagher is the owner, Eddie's Home Improvement is the agent, and who do we have?
Good evening, Tommy Holmes, I'm the son-in-law. We're just looking to do a few updates over there. We would like to remove the siding. We're starting to lose everything. We've owned the house for 32 years, and we'd like to go with a vinyl siding. I think I provided a sample of Cape Cod shingle, and it's a Dover gray.
These are the samples here?
Yes.
Okay. Pass them around.
It's manufactured by a company called Gentech, and it's actually called a Cape Cod shingle. And we have clapboard on the right-hand side and gray shingle around everything else. So I tried to get as close as possible to what was there with that particular siding.
So this is just for the part of the house that's yellow?
No, the whole thing. I'd like to do the whole thing.
You're going to do over the gray as well?
Yes, exactly. I'll strip it. I'm going to strip it down.
So you're going to put this on the front where the clapboard is now, too?
Yes, the whole,
All shingles?
all shingles.
No more clapboard?
No.
Got it. I was
Yes.
confused about that.
The problem with vinyl siding is the trim in a historic district. It stands out obviously as vinyl siding. You know what I'm saying? When you trim out around the windows and the doors.
So what I'm going to do with the windows, I am going to picture frame them. I'm not even going to have a windowsill there. I'm going to run the J channel right around the window and butt that right up. Around the doors, I'll put, in the corners, I'll put like a white fluted corner post. I don't know if you're familiar with
You
those.
can butt this up against them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little channel in there. It just slides right into the
Yeah,
channel.
I know, I'm familiar with it, but it's just in the historic district usually. This is different. I've never seen this, but I've seen pictures of it, but I've never seen it in person. From the street, it looks like shingles.
Yeah.
Normally, I would say absolutely not to vinyl siding, because they usually look like clapboards, right? Everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so, but the trim over the existing trim, when you're using the clapboard, is just yells, hello, vinyl siding, and it doesn't fit in the historic district at all. So you're addressing that,
Yes, yes.
okay.
And we're set back. We're the right front,
That's my next question, how many feet back?
yeah, the right front corner, we're 94 feet off the road. The left front corner, we're 86 feet off
Is
the
that
road.
far? Okay.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't really tell, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Tommy Holmes.
Tommy. So Tommy, describe what you're doing with the bulkhead. So you're putting in a door,
Yeah.
that's entry. So is it still gonna go down to the basement?
Yes, so we have the traditional Bilco bulkhead steel doors that just flap open. It's the same foundation, it's the same footprint. So I'll take that off and I'll put on what's called a doghouse. It's a wood frame, single door, right on top of what's existing. I think I provided pictures for you too.
You did. So you're going to open
And that
that
was-
door and you're going to go right down the stairs?
That was my friend's house,
Okay.
so you just open that door. Those Bilco bulkheads, and like I said, we've been there 32 years, and the nuts are starting to rust. It's very inefficient, very drafty, so I'm looking to go.
The rust out too.
Yeah, they rust out, and they, I won't say they warp, but they just lift a little bit, so
It's
I'd
it's
like to-
also in the back of the house.
it's in the back of the house, correct. And lastly, the last thing was the front stairs. We have like a concrete pad with a perimeter of brick. My mother-in-law's 79 now, and I think it's time for that to go. And I just want to put traditional tracks down, simple, 2 steps up, very, very simple.
Are you going to leave the brick walkway?
Yes.
So you're gonna put a railing?
I don't know if I need a railing there.
Your mother-in-law might need one.
I know, I'll certainly check with
Building is
the
gonna
building
tell you.
department. I think it's over 34 inches, if I'm not mistaken.
code is 3
We're
feet, I
very,
think.
we're very,
I think 2 steps you get away with, three you can't.
yeah, we have 2.
Well, it's more that what her needs are.
Exactly, exactly. Whatever she
The
wants.
Trex is gonna be what color?
Right.
So like a landing pad and then another
Um,
step?
Yeah, there'll be a landing pad there and 2 steps down. And it will be the gray Trex.
So like-
I'm trying to keep it as close to existing colors and that we have now. Cape Cod tradition, you know?
Great.
Other questions or comments from the committee? Any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve 24A125. No, wait, sorry, A124.
The second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So if you will sign this document in case
Sure.
you change your mind on any of this, let us know.
Thank you very much, everyone.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Right there.
I forgot to go look at
Could we have permission to enter your property when while you're doing it, to see how you're gonna? Yeah, I'd like to.
I think that's the one that's
Well,
really,
we have to ask your permission, we can't just walk onto your property.
I'm there all the time.
What, I mean, when you're doing it, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll just,
I think that's the
I
one
live right
that's
up the
like
street, so.
50 yards from Route 6 or something, if I remember correctly.
This is much better than the floppy stuff that cracks, yeah. No
All right.
baseballs.
Stop by anytime.
Good luck with it.
Thank you, everyone.
Look at
All
it
right,
again,
thanks.
because
The next item on the agenda is 24-A125. It's to install 26 solar panels on the side and rear roofs at 10 Marsh Point. Thomas Killian is the owner, and Empower Energy Solutions, Inc. is the agent.
I don't think we have all the signatures yet.
Sign that last one.
I didn't.
No. My bad. Thank you.
Liz noticed.
Good to have a vice chairman who's on the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I called the other application, so do we have either Thomas or Empower, a representative from Empower here tonight?
They're online.
Yes, sir. This is
Okay.
JR from Empower, and yeah, this is for the solar. We wanted to install 26 panels, and this will be at the back of the house. 14 panels at the back of it, and then left side 12 panels. And the owner of this one will be Thomas Killian.
Have you had any input from the neighbors on the, facing the house on the right side as to their objections? Because they will see the ones on the side of the garage. I believe.
We didn't get any input from them, and we didn't get any feedback from them as well.
Okay.
Is it making its way back? Oh, good, okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the committee?
What a gorgeous neighborhood. So beautiful. But the panels are not visible from public way.
No, it's,
So I guess my only comment is about the panels on the side of the garage that are visible from the street, is that typically we like to have them in a rectangular array this is a little bit irregular. Is it possible to add or remove one more panel so it's more of a rectangle, if you know what I'm saying, Jay?
Can I just ask where you think
Yeah,
it's visible from?
From Marsh Point, this side of the garage.
I would have to disagree with that. I don't believe you can see them. They're gonna be flat, don't forget.
What are going to be flat?
Yeah, it is true, and there's also a tree on that side of the house as well.
No,
If
I
you-
don't think it's visible from any public way.
Yeah.
I could see it.
the
Yeah,
abutter,
it's visible.
There
fully visible,
There
it's
will
across
be
the
minimal
truth.
visibility.
It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's just,
well, there's an abutter to the right, right?
exactly, that's what I just mentioned.
There's only, that's the is the house to the right the last house, if I
It
remember
is.
correctly? That's, I know who that is.
And if they had spoken to them, got an okay, that would make things a little easier, but I think it's far enough out of the beaten track.
I don't think that neighbor will mind. As a matter of fact, I know the fellow,
You know them.
yeah. I don't think that'll bother him at all.
Any other comments or questions from the committee? Any comments or questions from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So it's approved unanimously, and I will send this one around this time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
There you go, Liz.
Thanks. Making our site visits was very easy with these. They were like
Oh, I know, they're all close to each other.
very, very pleasant drive. You do?
Uh-oh, you sick?
No. Sometimes it just pops up.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is 24-A126 to install a pool fence at 39 Mariners Lane. Stephen and Pat Mechlinski, did I get that right?
Close enough.
Close, but that's okay. No one does.
Okay, how are you supposed to say it?
It's like M-A-K, Mucklinsky.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
now we know.
I think it's an Ellis Isle thing.
Seaside Pools is the agent. And we have Stephen and Pat Meklinski here this evening. So tell us.
So we would like to put in a pool fence. We're going to try to have an in-ground pool put in. And it's a 4-foot, you have the maps of the property?
Yes.
I have the estimate from the fence company here with pictures on the bottom also. And we have two sides of the back property. The back two sides have green space and it's wooded. So we'd like to do a 4-foot tall black chain link, and there's a lot of evergreens on the back two corners. And then the one that would show from Catch Lane, we want to do a traditional black picket fence with cedar posts.
Very nice.
So, thank you. And then from the front, from Mariners Lane, you may be able to see a double gate into the pool area.
Is that of the same as this?
That's the same as that, only it's going to have an arch
Yeah,
and double gate.
I saw that. It's really pretty.
Makes sense.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Questions or comments from the committee?
I think it'll be nice. I want a reservation.
Feel free. Feel free, come over. It should be ready in the spring.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Other than a desire for an invitation?
You're all
Hearing none,
invited.
I'll ask for questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public. And hearing none of those either, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve 24-A126.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So, as you've observed from the previous applications and applicants, if you'd be kind enough to sign this in case you change your mind on any of this.
Since you've approved it, you're absolutely invited.
We'd like cocktails too, please. As long as we're going to come, so.
We'll bring
You're welcome.
cocktails. Al.
Oh, you want it back? Oh,
No,
sure.
where'd it go? Proposal. There you go.
All right, okay. Nice to keep it with the application, I think.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Aye. Aye.
Oh, I am. She's gonna object, probably.
Let me get shorter water for her to pick up the
That's
firewood.
that. Oh, I have to sign this.
Chopping garlic before I came here.
You all set? I will recuse myself then.
I was wondering if this was a familiar name.
Okay, the next item on the application is 24-A127. It's to install firewood storage at 182 Route 6A. John Stewart is the owner, and since John sits on this committee, he has chosen correctly to recuse himself. He will present, and Paul, you are free to comment and vote on this application. So,
So, 4x8 footprint. Actually, the whole thing, except for the plywood, has been built with recycled lumber that was headed to the dumpster just on my street alone where our shop is.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll see this one, those are the boards that are on top of pallets. Rough sawn, yeah.
that's where.
Okay.
The cedar shingles for the roof were overbought for a house that's on the waterfront on Bass River. Those are going to be red cedar. And the white cedar, we'll probably be buying. I've been getting ribs and drabs for different contractors I know, but I don't think we'll have enough. Probably the only objection to this would be from the woman sitting directly behind me that it's not done yet. So, I'm actually trying to make a point with this, that the stuff that gets thrown away is really preposterous. If we end up with things that we have to take to the tipping point through the scale at the dump, and I know contractors that do this, they'll just overbuy the 2x4s, and they won't save them for the next job. They go to the tipping point and into the dumpster and into the landfill in Bourne. It's unbelievably wasteful, the amount, what happens with the pallets, which this wood is the facing of. The pallets, when I was in high school, I worked at the Coca-Cola bottling plant, and there was a company, Hanson, and they would rebuild wooden pallets, and I would drive the truck up, and they would rebuild the pallets, and I'd bring them back. Now, since everything comes from overseas, those pallets aren't used again. They're used once, and they go in the dumpster, which is a shame. But, because people actually build whole houses out of this wood.
Yeah.
And the framing of them is 2x4 stock, which can be used.
Yeah.
And that's what this is built out of. So there.
So there and here. Any questions or comments from the committee?
I don't know if I like the looks. No, I'm just kidding.
White cedar roof and white cedar siding.
There you go.
Oh.
2x4 wood trim, painted with whatever white paint they happen to have on hand.
Are there any other comments from the committee or questions? Any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve 24-A127.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And enthusiastically, aye. And John, if you would sign this document here, in case you find your white cedar shingles. Yeah, you could do that.
Where's that Staples easy button? That was easy.
Would they were all that easy.
Really.
Okay, next application on the agenda is 24-A12, correct, Mundo? So eager to approve this. I'll call it while this is going around.
Okay.
24-A128, it's to install a new roof, siding, trim, gutters, windows, and doors at 65 Freeman Road. Daniel Corcoran is the owner. Coastal Custom Woodworks LLC is the agent.
Good evening. I'm Daniel Corcoran.
Okay. Tell us.
I'm the homeowner, and my wife and I have been there for about 6 years now. The house was built in '71. House needs some serious work on it, and so myself and our builder have come up with a plan to replace the windows, replace the roof, replace all the trim, do clapboard on the front, and shingles on all three sides. Over on Freeman Road, we're a cul-de-sac off of White Rock, if you know the area. So not too many traffic goes down our road whatsoever. We butt up to a private, large campground. Really, nobody even sees the back of the house whatsoever. So it's just more or less the neighbors that see our home. And so we're proposing to do asphalt black on the roof, white gutters, white Aztec for the trim. I believe the shingles will be a bleach oil, white clapboard on the front only. We're going to put fiberglass doors on the front and the back, and we're going to paint those black. And then the windows through Marvin will be the Elevate collection, and they will be black on the outside, white on the inside. So that's what we're planning on doing.
Questions or comments from the committee?
You're doing this 4/1 design? The panels of the windows 4/1, as shown here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you.
I'm curious on, right now, the front of the house on either side of the front door, the windows are wider in the center and two smaller windows on either side. Is the configuration going to be similar to that, or are you going to change to just double hung, or exactly?
Thank you for asking. So we're going to actually take 3 of the windows and gang them. He will add the white trim in between each one of the windows.
So this will be 3 of them.
Yep. So there'll be a gang there, gang to the opposite side of the front door, and then there'll be one more ganging over the driveway side, which I guess would be called the south side, which is kind of more or less the front of the kitchen area.
So there'll be 3, when you say gang them, 3 same-size windows. Okay, that's what I was trying to understand.
There'll be trim in between them.
Trim and-
Yeah.
And you're keeping the shutters, are you, or
We're going to change the shutters out
to a black?
to a black, and those will be probably some type of PVC type of shutters. I'm not sure what the shutters are going to be yet. We really haven't gotten that far. I don't know if they'll be shaker. I think it's whatever my wonderful wife, Miss Amy, will prefer. I would prefer a raised panel on it myself. I think that would really kind of give it a little bit of a hit, since everybody else in the neighborhood has either no shutters or they actually have shaker-style shutters.
So it's going to be clapboard in the front and shingles on the other 3 sides.
That's right. It's like a bleaching style.
So it's the bleaching oil helps it to weather more quickly?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you plan to paint those shingles ever?
We're not planning on that.
Just so,
Good question, but I don't think we were.
just so you know, I dealt with a property a few years ago that tried to paint shingles that had previously had bleaching on them, and the paint does not stick.
No,
Just to be aware of that.
no, our intention when we actually did these selections back in January, February, and our hope of the style of this was just to kind of be what they call the Cape Cod look, and we would never plan to actually paint those shingles ever. I don't think it's just what we want on there. So, again, she picked out that particular color when we were over at Mid-Cape.
Other questions or comments from the committee? Any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on the application.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So congratulations, and before you leave, kindly sign the document. And as you've heard me say, in case you intend to make any changes or wish to make changes. Thank you very much. Good luck with it.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice evening.
You too. Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is 24-A129. It's to install 22 solar panels on the rear roof at 7 Hill C Road. Mary Grant is the owner, Freedom Forever is the agent. And looks like we have Katie back again, so,
Hi. Hi. So what we're proposing for this is 22 panels, black on black. It would be 460 square feet total. This would be on the rear roof facing the backyard. And any questions you have, I'm happy to answer.
okay. Questions or comments from the committee?
Well, you noted in your application that the panels are not visible from Hillsea, but they are fully visible from Mill Lane, which is a scenic byway in Yarmouthport, so I'm totally opposed to this application.
That's unfortunate, it's true.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, this is a difficult one, because as the Vice Chairman just stated, Mill Lane has been designated a scenic byway in the town of Yarmouthport specifically. It's a very significant historic lane, joins Water Street, which is also on the map as a historic byway, and Wharf Lane. So that property is literally surrounded by scenic byways. And house sets high on a bluff, so that there's nothing to interrupt the view from Mill Lane to that roof. So I would agree that I could not accept this application.
Understandable. It's a gorgeous neighborhood. We drove by it. All right, well, I appreciate that. I'll make sure to send this information to the homeowner and to our company as well.
Well, we haven't actually voted yet, so,
Right.
so you've heard two opinions. There may be others among our members on this panel. So any other comments or questions?
As the appointed architect to this board, I would be strongly opposed to this.
Let's take a vote.
Okay.
The only point I would make is that there are 10, I believe there's 10 panels that would be flat on the, in a rectangular shape. It probably would not interest the homeowner to go forward with it, because it would be too small, but that's an option. Could
Well,
come
it
back
may,
with
it
that.
may or may not be an option. I mean, it would be an option to present. Whether it would be accepted by the committee is another matter. So I will entertain, any questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? All right, I will entertain a motion on this application.
Motion to deny?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of denial of the application signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. Sorry about that, Katie, but thank you for
No
understanding.
problem. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Denied, okay.
The next item on the agenda is 24-A130 to install a fence at 232 Route 6A. Michael Palmer is the owner. And do we have Michael present this evening?
He's on Zoom.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's muted.
Can you hear us, Michael? We can't hear you.
Michael, can you unmute? Oh, Margot is on Zoom. It's Margot. Margot or Michael? There we go, Margot. Hey, Margot.
Oh, hi. I was
Okay.
trying to unmute for so long, I didn't know how to do it. Yeah, so, Mike is on a plane, so he can see and hear, but he can't chime in or talk, so I'm
Okay.
here to talk for
Okay.
us. So we want to install a 6-foot, cedar fence along the rear end of our property on Thatcher Road.
Right, Thatcher Street, correct?
Thatcher Street, yes.
Okay. All right, so, questions or comments from the committee?
I wondered if there would be any greenery. You've 8 feet from the road. Are you going to be doing some planting?
We already have.
Yes, we already have. So that was our first step. So the fence would sit about 9 feet back and we put a bunch of plants in that are already there.
Great.
Perfect.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
You guys are doing a beautiful job on that property.
Really.
Thank you.
Questions or comments from abutters or other interested members of the public? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve 24-A130.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So we have one tabled item scheduled to be heard this evening. It's 24-A117 to install 19 solar panels on the front and rear roofs at 46-9 Rhine Road. Lurline, Grizzle Malcolm is the owner, and Sunrun Installation Services is the agent, and we need to untable this application.
I move to on-table application 24-A117.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor of untabling the application, kindly signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So now we will hear 24-A117.
Good evening, Steve Kelly from Sunrun, representing the owners. We are proposing putting 19 black panels on this home, 10 in a rectangular array on the front and 9 on the rear. The owners are going to be putting a dark shingle on the home. I didn't get the benefit of the moon tonight, so I couldn't see the color if they had already done it or not.
I don't think so.
It's a very woody neighborhood. Short scrub oak and pine. You really can't see many of the homes, and I didn't really get a great shot at this one, but there will be some panels on the front. And again, black on black panels with a black skirt.
I think given where it is, it's like 50 yards from Route 6, right?
It is a neighborhood that's tucked in
I
between.
think
the
any other location might be a problem, but for me, at that distance, it's not.
So you're not really sure, the roof may be black or it may be just dark?
It's gonna be a dark roof.
So they're replacing the roof too?
That's what I've been told.
So,
That's also included in the paperwork.
Yeah, I see it.
I see it. I think it's worth pointing out that this would be the first house in the neighborhood with solar panels.
I did not see any.
Yeah. It's at the end of a very long sequence of roads that dead ends. It's a cul-de-sac. And the one thing that I think is worth noting is, to some degree, it seems like putting the cart before the horse. It would be nice to have the roof done first. If the roof were done first, they could apply for an exemption, and it would qualify. You know, you sort of, it's a wing and a prayer to approve an application when there's a promise to change the color of a roof. So it would
We had a
be,
sample, yeah.
It's in the application, though.
I understand it's in the application, but it hasn't been done.
Steve, are you
So,
re-roofing as part of the contract?
We don't re-roof anymore. Sunrun
Some of
itself, it would
these
be a sub.
companies do the re-roofing as part of the contract. Okay.
We'd no longer do that.
But if-
If, that would have to be a separate application then.
Well, it would, I'm just throwing it out there, that
I agree.
if
I think
if
it
I
should-
were the applicant, I would have done the roof or put in for an exemption for the roof and then applied for the panels. But I'm not saying that we as a committee need to mandate that.
But the application states they're going to be re-roofing the home.
I
So if they
understand
don't,
that.
Then they're in violation, they get a violation.
Well, yeah,
And,
okay.
yeah.
So the word, it's understood that this is a requirement of the application that the roof
And I
color be
would-
changed.
I would suggest that the requirement state that the roof would be black,
Right.
not just a dark color,
Charcoal
black.
gray.
If I could just interject there, I can't promise that it's not a weathered wood or something along.
That's the problem.
May have already been done.
Well, nothing, I went by there today, and
No.
I didn't see
I don't
a
think-
dark-colored roof.
Yeah.
The house was built in 1990, so that is a tough 34-year span. It could be the original roof, it could be second coming, so tough for me to tell there.
So another way to look at this is, are we willing to accept this with the assumption that the roof color doesn't get changed?
I am.
Is it moot to us whether or not the roof gets,
No, I
color
think
gets
where the
changed?
location is.
1990, and it's next to 6. It's
So-
Do you see how close it is to Route 6?
that's
It's
it.
almost out of the area.
I agree.
All I'm asking is,
We're just getting
are we
too-
prepared to accept
am.
this application as it stands with the roof color as it is?
Yes.
I think it would be wise for us to do that, rather than operate on the assumption that the roof color is going to be changed, especially since we don't know what color the change would be if the change occurs.
Yeah,
That's my point.
that's the right process.
So,
So you're going to approve something that we're not aware of?
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
'Cause, yeah,
So in other words, the approval would not be contingent on changing the roof color. If we approve this application, whether they change the roof color or not is entirely optional on their part, even though it's stated in the application. I think that would be the prudent way for us to, we recommend the roof color change, but we're not mandating it.
Or
If we agree on that.
I understand your point, but I don't agree.
What do you think we should do then?
If you don't want to mandate a roof color, then it should be a separate application.
Right, or what if we tabled this?
We could do that.
Yeah, you could table it and have them come back with a roof color.
I think they were getting carried away.
No, I don't
It's
think
a
we are.
1990 home.
Well, first of all,
Right in-
what we could do
Thank you.
Well, let me ask if there are any comments or questions from abutters or other interested member of the public. Okay, there are none. So, Liz, you could make a motion.
Fine, I make a motion to approve 24-A117 as presented.
Okay, so it's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor of approving this application signify by saying
I'll
aye.
ask a question first, please. So that means that they're required to change the color of the roof, as presented. As presented, they will re-roof before the solar installations. It's as presented.
But it doesn't
We
give
don't
a
have
way.
a color.
The-
It says with a dark colored shingle.
I think it's going to be,
Well,
we're hoping
as
that they
presented,
will,
what does
that
that
we're
mean?
hoping that they will adhere to the express intention reflected in the description of proposed work.
Right.
But we're not mandating it if we vote to approve the application.
No more
I
Mr.
disagree.
Nice Guy.
I disagree. I say if we approve the application, it's as presented, they say they're going to change the roof to a dark colored shingle. So if we approve the
Then I
application.
think the application,
as
then, okay,
presented,
let's,
they have to change the color.
all right. Are you,
As presented, that's what it says.
I agree.
So that's
Well,
that's the verbiage in their
hold it.
application.
there's been a motion to approve this application.
As presented.
The motion to approve the application does not require a change of the roof color. Is that correct?
That's not what she said.
Is that, well, I want to understand the motion.
We will not have any information on the roof color as part of the approval.
That's not what the application says.
Exactly.
It says, it's not, it's nebulous.
Well,
We do
I'm
not
gonna,
have a
I'm
color.
gonna put words in your mouth, Liz.
Very good.
There is a motion before us to approve this application without regard to the stated intention to change the roof. Is there a second to that motion?
I second that. I already did
So it's
second.
been moved, excuse me, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving, does everyone understand the motion?
Right.
All in favor of
Excuse me, then it's
approving,
amended
all in
motion.
favor, sorry. All in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Nay.
And aye. So, it's been approved. And
No roof consideration.
they can or they don't have to. So, and we, some members of this committee, and I among them, frankly, hope that they do, but I'm not requiring it, and we did not as a committee.
I'd be happy to do a little homework before I leave and see what the notes have to say.
Okay, great, Steve.
Say nothing.
I mean, they're on the right track. They're talking about a dark roof.
Steve, say nothing.
For me, we do no longer do roofs in-house.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with it.
All right, well, we'll see what I can dig up.
See you soon.
Wasn't going far without it.
All right. Okay. So we need to approve the minutes of the September 23rd meeting.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes of the September
23rd.
23rd? No, 23rd meeting, sorry.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. That was a particularly good job this time,
Not a
Lisa.
single comma.
No, I had absolutely nothing to say. I represented this committee for an appeal on a decision that was made by the town of Dennis. It had to do with a new house on Route 6A, just west of Commerce Street, on a little dirt lane that I did not know existed. I wonder if any of you did. It's called Red Wing Lane. This decision followed several different meetings on the subject, during which there were major modifications made to the application to make it more compatible with its location, its prominent location on 6A, and ultimately was approved after these several meetings. But it was appealed by abutters who felt that the house was too massive for the location. The commissioners, I among them, upheld the decision by the Barnstable Committee unanimously because they had worked very hard to make the structure more compatible with the surrounding area and had broken up the mass with multiple changes to the front facade. So that's what happened there. And the next meeting is October 28th, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 Aye.